folks, will the Nintendo Switch 2 flop? We talk about it today. Welcome to the Mario Matter episode 131. I'm your host, Nintendo YouTuber EmSwizzle. I hope we're all doing well. We got a lot to discuss. What is on today's program? We will tell you right now. First things first, we go over Nintendo news, me and our guest. A lot of cool stuff. We got some new announcements, some rumors about Switch 2. Cool stuff. After that, me and our guest dive into will the Nintendo Switch 2 flop? A juicy segment. After that, we dive into the Q&A, questions you asked me and our guest. We answer them today. And our guest on the show is AntDude. Ant has racked up over 570,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, AntDude. He makes tons of longer Nintendo videos. I'll read you some. The rise and fall of Nintendo Labo, the complete handheld Zelda retrospective, Mario and Luigi Brothership, the Return of the Kings. He makes amazing, high-quality Nintendo content. He's a great guy. We talk Nintendo today. Let's not waste your time. Let's go ahead. Let's get right freaking to it.
Welcome to the Mario Matter, the #1 Nintendo podcast.
Ant, welcome to the show, man. How's it going?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good over here. It's so great to have you on, and we got a lot of cool Nintendo things to discuss, and I'll go ahead and I'll get us started with our first little rumor here, and then I'll grab your thoughts on it. Let's dive right in. So, I believe this came out this morning as of recording. We are recording on a Thursday, and the rumor here is probably the spiciest one that we've had in a while. Apparently, listen, I don't know what to believe anymore. Rumors fly around. I don't know what to believe, but this says here that 380,000, not a huge number, when you think about it, Nintendo Switch 2s have already been shipped to North America. Listen, Nintendo, you gotta ship more than that. But where does this info come from? Listen, I don't think this is very reliable, but the news is making the rounds online. I have to discuss it. So this comes from a user named LIC on Family Boards, which is a Nintendo forum site. I believe they're credible. People have said that they've gotten things right in the past. They apparently have some intel here. And so here's the details. Switch 2s are done, in box, ready to be sold. These have shipped to North America. These were shipped to the US between January 17th and January 22nd. So somewhere in that range, they were shipped off. And also, with that, almost 42,000 units of the Switch 2 charging grip were also shipped. Now, that will not come with the Switch 2, but as you may know, the charging grip for the Switch 1 was just a little grip where you put your Joy-Cons on, and then you can plug in a USB-C and charge them that way. So, listen, this shady source, right? And let's get your thoughts. Do we believe this? What's kind of the feeling here?
All right. So I don't know how much Switch 2 rumors you've dived into on this podcast up until now. I am very tired. I am so tired of just this person says this thing on Reddit, on 4chan, on Twitter, whatever it is. And I guess if this person is believable and they have a credible past, I could believe it because it's one of those boring rumors that why would you make this up? And it could. When did the Switch 2 get announced?
January 16th.
So maybe that was maybe that timing is on purpose. They need to let it visually be seen so even the manufacturers can send it out. I don't know.
Right.
This is all stuff that won't matter at the end of the day. As for whether or not I believe it, if they want to actually get millions of units in people's hands without dealing with shortages, I guess I can believe it. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just tired. I'm just so tired. I need April 2nd just to finally put a stopgap to all of this.
I'm tired as well. You make a great point, though, that I didn't even, consider. People make up rumors about that. Did you see that, Vimeo social media app coming to Switch 2? That was a rumor. It was a social media app maybe coming.
Oh, yeah, because there was, the rumored C button on the Joy-Con.
Yeah.
It was a communication button.
Those come out, and you make a good point. This one's a boring one, so it probably is true. I mean, I could definitely believe it. They should be shipping systems. The only thing is, I feel like at some point or another, they're gonna leak. You know, like I'm just dying to see the box. You know, like that's what's interesting to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the thing that you actually are going to care about. Like, I know a lot of people care about the specs and stuff too, and I'm sure that stuff has been leaked, whatever. I really couldn't care less at this point, because this also just, for me, I mean, this is going to a different topic about just being tired of it. This has just been the Switch Pro rumors on top of everything else about just people just saying things and throwing them into the ether for the last 5 years. Obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if there are places with the Switch 2 in stock now. I'm anticipating like a late May, early June release. So the timing, I guess, would make sense rather than like a week beforehand. The Switch Grip, that makes sense too. I need it over with. It's every week. There's like, this person says this about a rumor. And I don't know how credible this person is on top of that. So,
yeah, I'm not sure either. But as this podcast gets posted, we got 18 days until the Direct. It's coming, man. It's coming faster than I thought. Honestly, I've just tried to like forget about it. So like it just comes faster. Yeah. If I'm counting down the days, it goes slow. So it'll be here soon, a couple more weeks, and then we got it. But also in the past week, just a few days ago, was Mario Day. This is the Mario Day podcast. We've not done one since. That's always fun. We got a few announcements. Dare I say less than last year. Last year we had the release dates for Thousand Year Door and Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. This year, we got something that we got to talk about because this is very cool. Nintendo, or LEGO, in collaboration, announced a LEGO Mario and Standard Kart LEGO set. A Mario Kart LEGO set. It is Mario on the Standard Kart, as you might be able to tell from the name. It is 2,000 pieces, which honestly is more than it looks like. It doesn't look like 2,000. Am I wrong in that?
No, because they got the amount of minuscule pieces, like the mustache, like you can tell, like the eyebrows are probably like individual pieces on top of that. So yeah, that'll add up quick.
Yeah, so it's 2,000. I mean, it's 1,972. It's 2,000 pieces, $170, which is honestly cheaper than I thought it would be, which is great. And it releases May 15th. Now that happened, it's also worth mentioning that, they did put out an Alarmo update as well. I was in bed. I was sick that day. I just got over being sick, and I was in bed, and they dropped it at like 10 a.m. Eastern, and I was like sick. I rolled over and just started playing with it. I would like set the alarm.
You actually, you have Alarmo sitting next to you in bed.
Oh yeah.
You actually use it.
Yeah. Some people like have it on their desk, which is cool. It acts as a clock. I actually use it. It's pretty cool. I woke up to it this morning.
Nice. Okay, you're the first person I've ever met that actually uses it for intended purposes. Everyone else I know just has it on their desk with like the subtle noises and stuff, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, all right, there's someone there for it.
That is me. But in terms of the set, do we like it? Are we buying it? What's kind of the feeling?
So I do think it looks cool. I can't do Lego. It's so much money. It's such an investment to get, because I have a bad collector problem. I have every amiibo that outside of Monster Hunter. I have all the amiibo.
Snap.
So when they started doing Lego, I was like, oh, sick. Maybe I could start keeping a chain of that. And then they're doing so many of them because they're so successful, and kudos to them for that. I can't do it personally. I can't do it. But I do think it looks cool.
Right.
I don't know if like the tires spin and stuff, because I mean, like I can imagine if I was a kid, I would be rolling along with that, and then they'll do a Luigi kit next year, and it'll just be a never-ending cycle.
Yep. I'm the same. I feel like the Lego, it's great, but I have to love it because they are expensive, as you said. Like I was at Target the other day. I wanted to buy an Animal Crossing set. Dude, $30 for like 300 pieces. Yeah. That's terrible.
Yeah, and there was multiple sets too.
Yeah, not good. But honestly, I'm not sure what price is worth it for 2,000, but I definitely expected it to be like over $200. So 170 makes me consider it, to be honest, but I will probably lean towards no still.
Yeah, but it is cool. It's one of those things where if they had it when I was younger and like I played with Legos a bunch or Lego, some people are going to be,
some people do that.
Then I would be all in on it. And I do know, the thing is, I also know someone who will likely get it for themselves anyway. So I'll be able to experience the childlike wonder through them.
Right.
But it does look cool for 170. Yeah, I agree. It's cheaper than I thought it would be. And the Mario himself does look better than I thought he would be too. Some of the other previous Lego sets have not looked super on point for characters because they were so limited in the pieces that they used. But Mario looks pretty good. Mm-hmm. So much so that I would love if they threw this into the new Mario Kart on Switch 2 as a skin.
That'd be dope.
So
there is one other thing that I did want to bring up because I just connected the pieces while sitting here. So this is not on our...
Was that supposed to be a pun? Was that supposed to be a Lego pun?
Wait, what did I say?
Connect the pieces?
Well,
damn,
you know
you should
what?
have said yeah, because that would have been perfect.
Yes, it is. No, it's not. But I saw today, it's not on our notes, that the Nintendo San Francisco store opens on May 15th. This also comes out May 15th. Listen, I'm not trying to do the Switch 2 thing, but is May 15th like the day for thing? Is Switch 2 maybe happening?
Yeah, I did want to bring that up because I know it wasn't on the notes, but it was this morning when this goes live. I did see that Nintendo San Francisco, May 15th. And I didn't realize that Mario Lego comes out that same day. I think things are lining up in such a way that obviously they're planning something. There's no way. I feel like they would incentivize a big event out of that. Specifically, they announced and said more details to come in the future. It's probably after April 2nd, they'll be get a special thing at Nintendo San Fran. Obviously, this is all conspiracy theory stuff right now. Once again, I'm losing my mind with Switch 2 stuff. But I think every Nintendo fan just sees a release date or a date and just loses their mind currently with no details. But that'd be cool. That'd be very cool.
Did you look into that thing? Because I saw a little something. I didn't look into it where it said sign up or whatever. Or is that, you gotta sign up to go? Thing? There was something I saw. I don't know what it was, but it was you gotta, or soon you're gonna have to sign up for something. That's what makes me think Switch 2. I'm actually trying to find it, but I don't know if I'll be able to.
Yeah, it looks like reservations are required to attend the grand opening of the San Francisco store.
Yeah, okay, well, grand opening makes it sound less like Switch 2. I was just thinking
the timing would line up though, because I would expect the Switch 2 to be this summer. Mm-hmm. So
we'll see. May 15th, cool. Watch it. Something might happen. But
and I guess quickly on top of that, just to go along with that conspiracy, because I saw people argue that, they're doing the Switch 2 preview events past that into June in different territories. I think people are held up on the fact that they need to get all the preview events done before the console launches. And I don't think that's the case. Nope. I think they could very easily release this thing, let's say May 15th, and continue doing events into June to help convince people even further.
Right.
So just, adding fuel to the conspiracy theory fire.
Yep, those preview events are still very relevant because, even still, even last year, Nintendo did these pop-up events, demoing Switch if you don't have it yet. I'm not sure who doesn't have a Switch yet, but they're always advertising. So like you said, they could keep on doing those after it releases. It still makes sense, but we got to talk even more Switch 2 because there's another rumor. This one couldn't find the source. Oh wait, I'm stupid. This is a patent. Whoops. This is a Nintendo patent that hints at voice chat on the Switch 2. So Nintendo never really has had voice chat. We kind of do. We have it on the app, the Switch, the online app, but never with the console. We had a Wii U chat, if you want to count that. But we've really never had.
Oh my God, the video chat! I totally forgot about the Skype service on the Wii U.
Right.
Oh my goodness!
But we've really never had create a party on your actual system and play a game. We've never had that. But there's a patent for not just voice chat, for proximity chat on the Switch 2. Now, proximity chat is essentially, let's say that we're all in a big world. Say that we're all playing Mario Kart. Maybe, for example, if I, drive up next to you, we can talk for a few seconds. Then when we get split up, then, we can't talk. It's when you get close to players in a world, you can chat. This, honestly, could either be really good or really bad, I feel. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss here. What are your thoughts? Proximity chat in Nintendo Switch games, Switch 2 games. Our thoughts?
I get nervous at the prospect of having online chat with randoms anyway. I used to be a big Call of Duty player, honestly. And boy, having chat rooms just open to the public not the most fun experience in the world. So as fun as it sounds to like Mario Kart and just pass by someone going, screw you, as you just drive by and you fade out in the distance. With friends, beautiful. I don't know if you've ever played something like Among Us or Lethal Company, whatever, proximity chat. It's a game changer to have proximity chat with friends. So if that's a thing, cool. Man, if it's in Mario Kart Splatoon, I would like to think that they're planning something online exclusively for this. Like, I don't want to do Smash Brothers with randoms and have voice chat. That sounds like a disaster. But getting a group of 8 people from Mario Kart proximity chat, that sounds like that could be beautiful. Or if they did a horror thing, like if they do like a new Luigi's Mansion with the scare scraper mode or whatever, and that has proximity chat, that could be cool. So, obviously it'll depend on what game it is, but it would be a big deal for Nintendo to have chat in-game finally. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Thinking about this further, I definitely don't want this in any competitive game. Like, no, like, dude.
Just full stop, just no.
Imagine, like, killing someone in Splatoon and then they can talk to you now. Like, nothing's gonna go well. No one's gonna say, hey, good game, man. Like, it's gonna be fireworks. It's not gonna be good.
What if they add, like, a little, like, Woomy, like, aqua... like filter effect for your voice in Splatoon specifically.
Oh, well, that would
make you sound like an inkling. So
that would be cool. That could be something.
It will be a lot of cursing and and slurs and stuff from randoms, and I don't know if I want that.
But for example, did you play the maybe not the Switch Online playtest a few months ago?
No, I didn't get in.
It was a very peaceful. I got in. It was very peaceful, like. Almost like, I wouldn't say teamwork game, but there's no competitiveness. Everyone's like building their own. I could see it in that game, like a peaceful game where you talk to people if you need to. Something where you're not gonna cuss somebody out. Like that would be great, So something like that, or I'm trying to think of what else.
It's something they can probably work with Microsoft to get a new Minecraft version.
Sure, yeah,
on Switch 2 that has that.
Mm-hmm. Proximity chat could be happening. Now, it's a patent, so not all patents happen. We've all seen the patent of the Switch concept where it was like an oval with 2 thumbsticks on it. Like, I'm not sure if you've seen that.
Yeah, of course.
We've seen bad patents.
But the whole thing was a screen. Yeah.
Right, yep. It's not all confirmed. This is just one of them. We got to talk about it. But something that is confirmed and happening next week, just kind of want to talk about this, bring it up. I feel like, I'm not sure about you, but it feels kind of like it's being swept under the rug. Not in terms of like Nintendo, but like I've forgotten about this. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition releases next week. Are we a fan of this? Are we picking it up?
So I guess I have not talked enough publicly. I want to talk about my complete joy and love for the Xenoblade franchise. I adore Xenoblade. I was there since day one on the Wii, Operation Rainfall and all that stuff. I was there day one. I adore this franchise with a passion. Dare I call it some of the best storytelling in gaming, full stop. Have you ever played any of them?
So the thing is, I have not.
There you go. Okay. It's tough to convince people to play like an 80, 90 hour RPG.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I totally get it. Do you know anything about Xenoblade X specifically?
The answer is
this
no.
is kind of a big deal. Okay.
No.
So 1, 2, and 3 obviously are a part of a trilogy. There's like a kind of a continuous story. X was always its own weird thing. Different art style, different story beats. It's very realistic looking. Like graphically, I couldn't believe the Wii U can run that game. I can't believe the Switch can run that game. Yeah. It's one of the prettiest games of all time. There were so many things that were integrated with the gamepad that it almost seemed impossible for this game to come out. I think the director said they would need to retool so many things about the game for it to happen. So when it happened, it was a big deal when it got announced. As for being pushed under the rug, I mean, I guess because everyone's going crazy for the Switch 2.
Right.
And it makes sense because it'll be like, 2 weeks after this is when the Direct is, somewhere around there.
Yep.
People won't have the game beaten by then because it's like 100+ hours long. But I think this is a big deal for those who care about this. And I'm hopeful that when the Switch 2 comes out, they try to also rejuvenate some life into original Switch games so this game doesn't get completely swept under the rug by year's end. I don't want to go into crazy details about X specifically, but I am ecstatic for this game. I'm so excited. It didn't have the most conclusive ending in the world, and now they're going to go back and finish it, and just I love Xenoblade. I love Xenoblade.
That's awesome to hear. Because honestly, for me, like I'm not into it. I don't know. I just Xenoblade and Fire Emblem are the two that I can't get into, but probably should be into, and it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they are. When it comes to like Nintendo typical games, they're the most Japanese anime kind of RPGs out there. So I get it. Plus, when you get older, it's tough to convince people to play these really immersive RPGs that take so many hours of your life. Like kind of like Persona, like great game, but you want to spend 90 hours in it. There you go.
Yep.
So I get it, but man, if you ever get the time to, these games are something special, and it's very cool that also this means that all the main Xenoblade games are going to be on one console.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
dope. I feel like they've been doing that with a lot, like Pikmin.
Yep.
It sounds like they're gonna do it with Metroid Prime.
I'm hoping
2 and 3 at some point.
Metroid Prime in there, yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping they get more Mario in there, like Galaxy 2. Like, there's still some pockets there for sure.
Right.
But yeah, this is a kind of a big deal because it's also people keep talking about the Wii U and any games that are left hold over. For a lot of people, this was the final game that people wanted from the Wii U to the Switch. There are still a few, the Zeldas, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. If the mouse mode is true on Switch 2, then the Kirby game can come out. But this is like the final big Wii U exclusive making the jump over. And I mean, I think that's cool too, because it took the entire Switch generation to finally be like, okay, finally the Wii U, practically dead and buried, except for the smaller games. So that's cool too.
What do you think of that mouse mode? Now that you mentioned it, what do you think of that? I have mixed feelings.
Really? So I just love more options, just to have more options in there that actually seem like they would benefit gameplay. Because I guess they're not using the IR mode anymore. I guess that camera's dead on the Joy-Con. Mouse mode has so much more potential. Because I can see Splatoon doing it. I'm imagining Super Mario Maker 3. You can do controls like that. Any shooter, really. So like Metroid Prime 4 with that. I'm also thinking this is their opportunity to do DS and 3DS NSO games or ports and whatnot to get some of those games over. Mario Paint could come back. And then I imagine if they just let that go to third parties, it's a gimmick where that gimmick is going to be built into the console day one. It's not like you have to buy another accessory. It's going to be in the Joy-Con. And it's amazing it took people 8 years to just take their Joy-Con, put it on it. Have you tested it? Have you taken a Joy-Con itself and just been like, this actually kind of feels decent? It took us 8 years to just turn it 90 degrees and be like, this kind of works. Yeah. So I'm imagining, I think I tweeted this, that I think the main thing they're doing this for is Kid Icarus Uprising HD. That's my conspiracy theory.
I can see it. Yeah.
But you're mixed on it. So yeah, no.
I am. And the biggest thing for me, and I know that it'll be optional. Like it has to be. Like there's no way they'll force you to use it. I don't see that happening. I play all my games on a couch. I mean, I don't know where I'm going to be using that. On top of that, I have tried it, as we said, with the normal Joy-Cons. I feel like it's a little bit uncomfortable.
Okay.
Like I'm not sure what it is. My hand just feels very like cramped almost.
Okay.
Maybe that's just me.
The first Joy-Cons are very tiny for one.
They are.
So I'm hopeful that the bigger Joy-Cons would alleviate that. Again, yeah, my hope is that it's just an option for sure. Like how on the back of Switch boxes, it'll say like, it can do tabletop mode. It can do whatever, because no one really does tabletop mode either. It's just an option. So it'd be cool if it's just a way for you to have the optimal experience of playing something like a Kid Icarus Uprising HD, which with normal controls sounds like that could be a nightmare. But if it's just, hey, if you want, you could do mouse mode. That'd be nice. Yeah. I just think more options is better. The Wii is like my favorite console, and one of the things why is because there were always so many options if I wanted to play a bunch of games. So that's what I'm hopeful for. And if third parties have access to it, I can only imagine what they'll put off, especially getting more PC ports of random games you wouldn't expect because you need a mouse. Yeah, I know I'm rambling on. I've thought about this a lot. I've had discussions with a lot of people about this theoretical mouse mode.
Just opens up so many more opportunities. And, as you said, can bring over older games. There's a lot of things that you can do. So it should be good. But now, time to get to the main segment of the show. There's not a lot of news to talk about. Usually, I like to make the main topic news. And I was thinking about, should we talk about the voice chat as the main topic? That's not a main topic. Here's something I've seen going around, though. A lot of people talking about how well the Switch 2 is going to sell. Will it outsell the Switch 1? That's tricky, but we'll talk about it. I want to talk about this. Will the Switch 2 flop? Will it flop? We'll talk about it right now. Folks, the money question, the billion-dollar question. Will the Nintendo Switch 2 flop? You know, this is something I could imagine Nintendo put a lot of thought into, because from the Wii to the Wii U, it wasn't the best transition. You had people thinking that the Wii U was not a new console, just a controller. Wasn't a good transition. Switch 2, you gotta do it right. And the Wii sold over 100 million units. The Wii U sold, what, 13? 11? 12?
Well, now you're gonna have me double check.
Oh, okay.
I'll cross reference you.
I think it's 13 or something. Let's see. Let's see.
I wish I had that Nintendo website on hand that just had it.
Oh yeah, the IR stuff or the something. It's called something like that. The sales
yeah,
site.
about 13.5.
There we go. So we gotta look at the Switch 2 and hope that they're not making the same mistake. And we'll probably know whether they are or aren't in the Switch 2 Direct. But just kind of wanted to talk about this. Ant, do we think the Switch 2 will flop? And by the way, what does flop mean? Not outselling Switch, selling half the units of Switch? What is flop, and do you think it'll flop?
So I don't think it'll flop, but I think my metric of flop wouldn't be Wii U numbers, because that's just a disaster in the mid 2020s. On top of that, yeah, I don't know what flop would be. It would have to be like if Christmas comes and goes, and it doesn't get a noticeable bump. I think we have to be like, something's not adding up here. And I would like to think Nintendo, through the Wii U days and whatever leadership they have now, is a little more, I wouldn't say competitive, but knowledgeable about how to keep momentum going. So I would imagine when the April Direct comes and goes, not only will you see launch games, but I would like to think like August, September, October, November, December already have games, and then we can keep the momentum going, and that would be the guarantee to have at least 1 year of success. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it won't flop. I think one of the things that will dictate whether or not it flops is the health of the industry kind of in general. I don't know how you feel about this. This is a Nintendo podcast. I don't think the Sony or Microsoft really have anything exciting going on. I think the consoles are good hardware, and there are good games. I'm not on the side that thinks there's no good games on those consoles, right. But I haven't seen this much hype and anticipation for a piece of hardware for its pure existence. I think since maybe the PS5, before we saw that they weren't going to be doing a ton of games for it. So I think that the fact that there's been years of that, nothing super exciting, Switch 2 immediately says, hey, new Mario Kart. Brilliant move. I think that'll hit the ground running. It'll rejuvenate some extra life into the industry, I'm hoping. And then, yeah, I think it'll be off to the races, at least for a little bit. People say the novelty of the handheld mode has kind of worn off. I disagree. I think there's still a ton of merit into taking those games with you wherever. Because there's rumors now Xbox is going to have a handheld. I'm sure Sony's going to try to do something similar. There's clearly something there. Nintendo's currently fighting unopposed in that space. The Steam Deck, as a cool of a console as it is very niche. So Nintendo can kind of just have free reign to do whatever they want. All they got to say is, hey, 3D Mario, go. And I think it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. 3D Mario Kart. A lot of the games, I feel like, obviously are going to sell it for you. A flop to me. That's very
It's not going to touch Switch 1. There's no way. I think Switch 1 was like perfect place, perfect time. And it did something different again. This is the first time Nintendo's just doing a direct iterative of a console. Mm-hmm. It's not going to crack that. Unless they consolidate the sales numbers of both consoles, which they won't do.
Mm-hmm. Also, like pandemic sales, I would say helped it. Like, yeah, I mean,
for sure.
Maybe it's sold still upwards of what it's at now, but I feel like, do we know the numbers of the pandemic? Sorry, I don't mean to like make you check. I just like,
No, I'm a nerd, dude. I love sales numbers. I mean, yeah, New Horizons was pandemic sales. Ring Fit Adventure got an extra burst of sales during all that. So yeah, that definitely helped that 1 year. I mean, it always sounds crazy to say it out loud, but it like realistically, it's something like Animal Crossing and the Switch likely saved a lot of people's lives during that time. Mm-hmm. So attributing good sales to that for sure. There were benefits to that. Let's see. Between April and September, I believe this is it, sold 12.5 million. Not bad. But that says that brought the total up to 68. But now it's at over 100. Yeah. So yeah, it's just been crazy ever since. Switch 2 definitely won't hit that.
Right.
But it'd be cool if it did, but I don't think it will.
I think, honestly, I'm not sure if it's high or not. I think a flop for me, you know, considering the Switch has done close to 150 million, I believe. I think a Switch 2 flop, I don't know if this is high or not. I think anything under 60 million. Is that high? That sounds a little high.
I was honestly kind of eyeballing. I was kind of thinking 60. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, God, there's going to be so many variables leading into the next generation on what everybody's doing with their own hardware and software sales, physical media, and all that stuff will attribute to the general like sales. But I would like to think it'll at least hit 50 in the next few years. Yep. Who knows if Switch 1s will continue to sell. You know, I don't think it'll be like what we have now with Sony and Microsoft, where you still see games rapidly coming out on the previous gen.
Yep.
I don't think we'll see that. So that'll help Switch 2 be more enticing. But I think I can confidently say it won't hit 100. I don't think it'll hit 100. I don't think we'll see that again.
I think it'll be close, like a 85 or something.
That'd be nice. It'd be very cool if it did. How much did the Wii sell? What did the Wii sell?
I think it was just over 100. I believe.
101.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think 80, 85 would be like where you kind of want to sit. Because, I mean, there's probably going to be no pandemic, which bumped them up at least 10 million.
Yeah.
I mean, not that you know, that is the whole reason why Switch sales
that's a smart contributing factor to the general sales. I mean, that happened.
Right.
85, 86 looks to be hovering around PS3 360 numbers.
Okay, which, well,
I think that could be doable. And realistically, how long do you think that generation would even last?
That's another thing,
how long do you think
too.
the Switch 2 would last?
I don't think it lasts.
With the way consoles are going.
I don't think it lasts longer than Switch. I feel like you got to pivot to something new a little bit soon. Like, it can't last 8 years. No way.
Yeah, right? Which would be, what, 2033 would
no
be the
way.
Switch 3? I don't know.
Switch 3.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we can place the money bet right now. It's 85 mil. We'll touch back on this topic in 2033.
Yes, let's do it. Somewhere in the 80s, I think, is success.
But no, it will not flop. It will not be a failure. At the very least, it's not going to fail. I think Nintendo's kind of fighting unopposed in like that space.
Yeah.
I think they'll generate enough hype and buzz for their own games because realistically, what? They keep tweeting about Donkey Kong Country Returns and not Xenoblade X, which is mind-boggling. There's a couple. But yeah, it's just like a few ports. I'm sure if anything else comes to Switch 1, it'll be ports. I feel like Nintendo's being smart and kind of putting all of their eggs in the Switch 2 basket development-wise. That'll push a lot of people over. So I think just by that alone, it won't be a flop.
But here's the thing. We think it won't be a flop, but in a few weeks, we're going to have the Switch 2 Direct. Is there anything that they have to show? Or do you think that they're going to put some emphasis on, like, this is brand new, here's our brand new game, and you should buy our console? Like, do you think they have to show any certain thing that they didn't show maybe like in the lead up to the Wii U?
Well, the Wii U, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of like what a good, I want them to try to focus on Switch 1 games just running better on Switch 2.
Yep.
I think that would convey the power of the console well. All they gotta do is like show Breath of the Wild, like the forest that would run at frames on Switch 1 and be like, it runs good now. I think that could go a long way. Actual content, I mean, 3D Mario, we never got a second Odyssey, so something there. I think Kid Icarus Uprising HD, again, my conspiracy theory, I think that would be the selling point of the mouse mode. And I think that could at least get people to be like, oh, I have to buy this console, not because it just looks better, but because I can play games in a new way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll tackle a different like subset of people. And then it would be third-party support. That's the thing. Like we have this sort of time gap now where for a while companies were still trying to get Switch ports. And now it's kind of slowed down a little bit. We're trying to keep up. So if they can like go back and get, I don't know, some RPGs that have come out, like Persona 3 Reload, let's say that didn't come out on Switch. Just be like, hey, we have them on board. Mm-hmm. And now you can play these games portably.
Yep.
I think that. So something to sell mouse mode, something to sell Nintendo fans, which would be like Mario Kart or Mario, and something to sell third parties, which for this instance, I would say Persona 3. Outside of that, I don't know. I'm expecting like a blow of an hour long of just having my mind blown with new games because it's been a while since we've seen like an influx of brand new big budget Nintendo games. Mm-hmm. So
I think the biggest thing, I feel like you gotta show a lot, as you just said. I think we gotta see at least a snippet of 3D Mario. I think you show Animal Crossing because of all those pandemic people.
Sure.
And I'm one of them. I mean, I didn't buy a Switch with the pandemic, but I'm like big Animal Crossing guy. So I'm one of those sort of pandemic people. Not really. I had a Switch since day one, but you know, Animal Crossing, something Zelda. It's the games that'll sell the console. So just come out swinging with all that. And then, as you said, third-party support. There's talk of Elden Ring. I mean, that would make noise.
I could see that. Yeah,
that would make some noise.
Actually, yeah, with the new one too, which is co-op. If they do proximity chat, that could align well with the new Elden Ring.
There you go.
So
that makes noise, and then just however long this direct is, just showing us how different this is than the current Switch. I think this sells your system, and then. Little do you know, in 6-7 years, you got a 85 million unit sold console. That is our prediction. But final verdict, we think yes or no, Switch 2 will flop, and how many units it sells.
Yeah, so no flop. I'll go along with 80, 85. If they fix the eShop too, we're looking at
Oh yeah, please.
Imagine a bit of the direct where they like all those anime, sexual games. We're no longer doing them. Like, all right, cool. My pre-orders in. We no longer have AI slop on the eShop anymore.
Yeah, it's terrible. And also just the eShop running normal, where it's not like you wait 10 seconds for a page to load. Just a fast eShop. Honestly, I would take a fast eShop over a non-AI sloppy eShop.
Yeah.
Just fast. Yeah. Just make it
Actually,
work.
Another thing I think that they could do, and I could see it. What if this is also when they drop GameCube NSO?
Oh, that's something.
Imagine instead of showing off a new Smash Brothers or whatever, they say, "Hey, Melee's coming."
Here's the thing. I feel like they've kind of already chosen their path with GameCube. Like, how do you do GameCube NSO, but Pikmin 1 and 2 are backwards compatible? Just like everything else, like Kirby's Air Ride, Melee.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything else online? And just like they have those few remastered? Or,
that's true.
Well, like, what do you think? Do you think like it'll just be a few games that they would never remaster, like Jungle Beat or Air Ride?
Oh God, look at my GameCube games. Star Fox Assault and Adventure. Like, I don't think those would ever make the jump.
Yeah, like they would never get remastered. So maybe that
Eternal
could go on
Darkness,
there? Yeah. Maybe that'd be on there.
Yeah. Battalion Wars. Yeah. There's a few. I take it back. It's not going to happen. It's clearly not going to happen.
I mean, it could. Because the only real remastered games, Metroid Prime, Pikmin 1, 2, you have Thousand Year Door. That's a whole remake. That can be a whole different thing. Unless I'm forgetting any, they can bring over just the ones that they never
like Mario
remastered.
Sunshine got the portrait.
Right.
Well, not anymore technically, but
yeah.
Stuff
like that could happen.
I'm just imagining the insanity of them showing off Melee and just people losing their mind over that.
That'd be nuts. That'd be crazy. Yeah. Plus, it also sells Switch 2, of course. You got to switch over to Switch 2 to get GameCube. Makes sense. I think, as you said, no flop. I don't want to say the same thing as you, but I fully am in agreement, 80 to 85 million. But just to be different, I'll say 90 million. Shoot high.
Okay.
Shoot high.
Okay.
Why not?
You could have went 86. Could have done Price is Right rules.
Oh, yeah, that's true. 86 to 90
86
million. That's
There you
my guess. We will check back. We'll have you back on the podcast in 8 years, and we'll see how right or wrong we were.
All right, hey Siri, remind me in 8 years to do the podcast.
Remind me, March 13th, 2033. Folks, it is time to get to our next segment, the question block segment, where me and Ant answer your questions you asked us. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it. Folks, your favorite segment, the people segment, the question block segment, where you asked questions for me and Ant to answer. If you want to ask questions, there are 3 ways to do so. I took last week off because I was sick, so let's see if I can nail this. Number 1, my YouTube community tab. Every Tuesday we post. Number 2, Discord server link down below. You can ask in there. And number 3, if you want to email, you can email mariomatterquestions@gmail.com with your question. That's those 3 ways. And our first question comes from the nerd Hinox, who asks, what's one game that you didn't have for the longest time since release? For me, it was Breath of the Wild. I got it in 2023. And I will begin with you.
Yeah, so I play a lot of older games often. The one that immediately came to mind was I didn't get to play Banjo-Kazooie until like 10 years afterwards. Or like 15 years afterwards. It was like the early 2010s is when I finally got around to Banjo-Kazooie. So that was the immediate one that came to mind, but I'm usually always a few years back. Like I have games I got from like year 1 of the Switch that I still have not gotten around to, that I have to go back to. But yeah, the first one that came to mind was Banjo-Kazooie. That was like when I first realized like, oh, you can actually buy old games on eBay. I had no idea. I was just like waiting for Nintendo to release them, and I didn't know you could just buy them again. So yeah, I think Banjo-Kazooie was the one. Was like early 2010s. I was like, oh, this is a mind-blowing experience. I bought a game on eBay and it's in my hand now.
Yep.
So I think that's the one I'm going to stick to.
It's pretty cool. I had that same thought. Like, I buy retro stuff. Does that count? Because my answer is probably like Donkey Kong, like the first one.
Like,
I mean, like I don't know. I mean,
okay.
but that can't be the answer because that's not good. I mean, I'm just saying like the oldest game that I've played is probably that. But let's think of a better answer. I mean, I bought Star Fox Guard recently. I didn't have that when the Wii U came out.
Just Guard?
I have, what's the other one called?
Zero.
I have that one. I've had that one. Didn't buy Guard with it. So I got it recently. It was $4. What's that? 2016? That's 9 years.
Checks out. Yeah. I always like to call it Five Nights at Slippy's.
Oh, okay.
I saw someone say that, and I can't get that out of my head.
Is it good? I haven't played it yet.
It's okay. I really think we could talk on about this for a half hour, but I think a lot of Wii U fans were gaslighting themselves into like how good these games were because they only had one game every 4 months. Guards are just okay.
I mean, it has to be $4 for a reason. It can't be that good. Okay. Well, I'll check it out and I'll let you know what I think. Green Croc. Wait, I answered. Green Croc 4 asks, what real life cars do you want in Mario Kart 9? We saw the Mercedes-Benz in Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U.
It's so funny still.
Can we get any more of those? What do you think?
We can put in cyber trucks just so I can purposefully just try to knock them into the dirt. I'm not a huge car guy, so I don't know any specific makes or models or anything of the sort. I just think it'd be funny to destroy Teslas in Mario Kart. But honestly, bringing back Mercedes, if like just the idea of having very expensive cars in Mario Kart's hilarious to see. Actually, I don't think it shows up. It's the out of time license plate. We can get a DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Yeah,
that'd be a sick collab.
That's cool.
Or I guess the Lego car too. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's not a real life car, but I mean, it's a real life object. You can get the Lego Mario Kart in there. That'd be kind of cool.
That's one thing I always felt like they were missing. Like, you get all these cool characters and there's a lot of karts, but I want ones that maybe mean a little bit more. I think honestly, in terms of real cars, bring them all in. Like, put a Lamborghini in Mario Kart. Like what's it going to do? Yeah. Bring in, put a Ram truck in Mario Kart. Like
a Prius.
Yeah, bring them all in. Bring whatever you can,
You got the Ford Mustang 4x4.
Exactly. Bring everything in. If I had to pick one, I mean, yeah, I would like to see a truck in Mario Kart.
Sure.
That's cool.
Sure.
That's
just
cool
a big honking, gas guzzler.
And what happens is you can have somebody in the back of the truck, and they can throw the items for you. Now that's an idea. Double dash
again.
Yes.
Weren't there rumors that like because they showed a track with like a gas station in it, like what if there's a gas mechanic in there, or like so you could have a gas guzzler where like it goes faster but it runs out of gas sooner.
That would ruin.
So weird.
That would ruin.
That would be so
Kart.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even like F-Zero. I mean, you have to go on that thing, it recharges you.
Oh yeah.
But that's not bad. That like it's part of the game. I'm not stopping for gas in Mario Kart. No way. Okay, please no.
Yeah.
But real life cars, we'd like to see them. Bring them in, Nintendo, please. Haribo Maribo.
Did you ever see real quick? Did you ever see the Japanese commercial when they first announced Mercedes-Benz coming to Mario Kart?
I did not.
They had like a really buff like model in like a Mario fit.
Well, now
like
I want to see
pulling up in a desert, and he comes out of a Mercedes-Benz.
Now
it's
I want to
so
see
cool.
Mercedes.
It's so bizarre.
Benz Mario Kart commercial Japan.
I think it's Japan.
God, I found it.
Yeah, brother.
Oh,
this is awesome.
Man. I'm going to put it on screen.
Sick.
Oh, look at this guy. I never saw
so
this.
Cool. Yeah, dude.
10 years
it's
ago.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's dope. Okay. Nintendo, reboot. Bring it back, please. Haribo Maribo asks, since we're getting a Game Boy Lego set this year, which other Nintendo consoles would you like to see in Lego form?
Man, I forgot about the Game Boy kit.
Yeah, why is it so far away?
I don't even think... Have they even shown it? I just remember them saying that they were doing it. I don't know if they've even really shown it.
I forget if
yet.
they showed the actual Lego itself. I know that they did this little promo trailer. It was like, the Game Boy, but I'm not sure if the Lego set was actually shown off. Isn't it like... It's for this year, right? It's for fall or something?
Yeah. It says October here.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So they did NES, and they have this. I mean, next up I think would be Super. Virtual Boy would be funny. I think Virtual Boy would be very funny.
GameCube should be one. Eventually.
Yeah. So like the thing that's cool with these is they play like a little diorama of a Mario game. Like the NES one has like a Mario side-scrolling thing on there. So if they can do that for all of them, like I would think like the GameCube disc slot, you pop it open, there's like a diorama in there. That stuff would be cool. Yeah, I feel like most realistically they'll just do Super Nintendo next. But I think Virtual Boy would just be hilarious. Because I feel like Nintendo will do absolutely everything in their power to not port any of the Virtual Boy games. They'll just have you remember that it's a thing and then not let you actually play it. So that goes along with it.
Honestly, why even wait? Just do Switch. Like, why not? Like, just do it now. Sure. I mean, while it's hot, right? Because, I mean, in 20 years, it'll still sell, but Switch is never going to be hotter than it is right now. Well, a few years ago, it might have been hotter. But, while it's still alive, put it out. I think that could sell too, but it would be kind of close to the Game Boy set. So I don't see that happening, but makes some sense to me. So
I would want to see them to more so dive into, the question mark block that they have where it's like you pop it open and it has like different Mario 64 dioramas. I would like to see more that than consoles. Like, give me Samus's ship. Give me Samus' ship. You can press a button, then shoot, and Samus pops out. Give me a Hyrule Castle thing where you can actually no. We have the Deku Tree that has both Deku Trees in it. So yeah, I would prefer more set pieces of Nintendo games, like Olimar's ship. That'd be cool.
That'd be dope.
Like it actually has like all 30 pieces like in the thing.
Oh,
like I think that stuff would be way cooler than the consoles. But as we discussed earlier, I don't even know if I would buy it anyways because Legos are expensive, but it'd be cool to look at.
Very expensive. It would be a tough sell. If they make GameCube, I'm going to have to start considering. This Game Boy one is going to be like $250. Well, I don't know, because like the NES one's how much? $250? It's somewhere around there, right? Yeah, you are research.
I am the Lego guy, or the Googling guy, which is fine. $270.
Oh wow! So Game Boy is
$270, but the Mario Kart one is
that's $170.
$170.
They like their 70s.
There's no way they really. Oh wow, yeah. If the NES one really. Oh, because that was like a whole TV.
Oh,
The Game Boy is just the Game Boy unit. So
I can see
the
like
TV is so detailed too. I didn't realize how detailed the Lego set was. It has AV ports in the back.
Game
my
Boy
goodness.
could be like 150 or even just
Yeah,
100
yeah.
because if it's life size 100 can't be any more than that.
Let's follow up with this. What game do you think is going to be the one that's showing off on the screen?
NES is just Super Mario Bros, right?
NES is just Super Mario Bros. Yeah.
Either Tetris or Mario, because I mean Mario sells. Mario sells. I mean, you know, it's
Because I'm having my money on Tetris. Unless Nintendo really wants to just have Mario for every single one, I think Tetris is the game. But
I think Tetris is great, but I think Mario, just because if I was just this stupid, I'm not sure how I would be, and I was a little lad walking in a game store and I didn't know what a Game Boy was, but I saw Mario on there, I'm buying it. Like,
Okay.
I mean, maybe that's not what the Nintendo or Lego marketing department is at all thinking. I just feel like Mario, for me as a kid, would sell over Tetris. Now,
okay.
I don't know, that's a weak reasoning, but you know, Mario might be on there.
I feel like you might be a little biased with Mario.
little bit,
Just a little bit.
just a tad. But Tetris would be awesome as well. Like, I know what Mario is. I know what Tetris is. You know, little me wouldn't know what Tetris is. Now that I know Tetris, I could see being right on there. Finally, guy named Chunk asks, do you think a Zelda game, any type, not just Breath of the Wild 3, will be shown off at the April 2nd Direct? Any remasters? Any...
They have to get the Wind Waker Twilight Princesses like ports out at some point, but I don't know if they would kill time in a Direct with remasters. The thing is, I don't even want Breath of the Wild 3.
Yes,
I think it's time to do like a more, I guess, traditional 3D Zelda that's like linear-ish and story-based. But man, Tears of the Kingdom is not that old, so I don't know if we'd be ready for a new Zelda. Obviously, it'd be sick. Like what a great way to sell another console. We got another Zelda game on it. But because it's a new console, I don't see spin-off happening yet. I don't see remaster happening yet. Yeah, my hope is that they just do another linear-ish Zelda.
Do you think that they can do what they did with the Wii U and just show like a Link trailer? Where it's like not an actual
just like
game.
a weird tech demo CG trailer.
Yeah.
That has no bearing on the game itself.
Right, because, you know, you dropped Echoes of Wisdom, Tears of the Kingdom. You have nothing left. You can't show a remaster there unless you do Breath of the Wild 4K, which would be very, very weird. Just show Link. Say he's coming to Switch 2 in a few years.
Yeah. Yeah. They could. Honestly, yeah, what you said, I said it earlier, is probably the most likely outcome is that you'll just see Breath of the Wild and it'll be like, now it runs better.
Yeah.
And that'll probably be like the extent of it, at least for year one. And then they can start year two by then being like, hey, we'll get a new Zelda. But I think it's too soon. Unless they have a team that's been working on a new Zelda game while someone else was making the Breath of the Wild sequel. Potentially, but then that's getting too deep into the weeds.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. I'll say this. I don't think it's necessary. I think if they have all their other franchises lined up, I don't think it's necessary to see a Zelda game on April 2nd.
I agree, but you have to have like non-negotiable Mario, Animal Crossing. You got to have the other big hitters. One more thing with those Mario, Animal Crossing, and like one more Luigi's Mansion. You don't need that, but you just bring everything out because games are going to sell the console. Even just a Zelda logo, if you just show it or something, I think you kind of get the rub. But
because it's not like it's going to be a surprise that there's going to be a Zelda game.
Yeah.
You know? Nintendo's probably thinking about setting their first and second years like on fire. I think we could be looking at a Switch 1 2017 like year with just a bunch of heavy hitters. But I just don't think we need Zelda right now because they can probably just piggyback off of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and be like, now the games run better.
Yep.
I could see them doing like, hey, here's a double pack, that both games with the DLC on one cartridge or whatever, and then go. But yeah, I think that's where I'll say you don't need Zelda if everything else lines up.
I think Yeah, you might just want to show a logo. Because what game can you show? You can't show remasters. You can't show... I don't think they should show Breath of the Wild. I think what'll happen is you might, at most, get a logo, if not nothing. And then, I think that we do see, at some point in time, not sure if it's this year or next year, I think that we will see Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, or Twilight Princess, in a direct that focuses on Switch 2 and Switch 1 games. Being a Switch 1 game that is backwards compatible. Because I don't think that you can... I said it for a while, but now I've changed. I don't think that you should release Zelda Wind Waker or Twilight on Switch 2 exclusively. I said that for a while. I kind of take it back now. Because if you don't release that on Switch 1, you know, we're going to keep on supporting Switch 1. What else are you going to put on Switch 1? Like, it's going to be some sort of remaster or something, you know? Because you wouldn't put a new game on Switch 1 and not Switch 2. Has to be something remastered. I think that's a perfect one to put on there. So I think that we'll see that at the earliest this year. I mean, I was saying that 3 years ago, but, you know, from now until the end of time, at the earliest, you'll see it this year. But I don't think in this direct. My answer is no.
Yeah, I can almost see it being like the Summer Game Fest announcement.
Yeah, something.
For Nintendo, you know. But yeah, if this direct is specifically Switch 2, yeah, I don't think we'll see it then.
That is indeed what'll probably happen. We will find out on April 2nd, folks. Thank you all so much for listening to episode. This is 131 of the Mario Matter. And
impressive.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. If you want to plug, the floor is yours, where they can find you online. And if you have anything, any upcoming projects to share, let us know.
Yeah, so you can find me over on YouTube on AntDude92. I have a second channel, AntDude Plus. I just like to talk about video games on Nintendo stuff, of course. I just did a long 50-plus minute expose piece on the Nintendo Labo, the history of that cardboard,
the rise and fall
monstrosity.
Yeah,
they're all now. Everything is in that closet. It's there's so much stupid cardboard now, and it's all just sitting in there. But yeah, I'm working on Sonic videos. I got a Mario video planned. You know, I like talking about video games until the end of time. So that's where you can find me ramble on like an idiot.
Yep. It's impressive that you have all your Labo. I threw all mine away.
So I made it a thing in my video. So I had in the years since Labo came out, I moved across the country, but I had a lot of like the pre-built robot kit, like the first 2 sets. They were just sitting in a garbage bag across multiple closets and miraculously didn't get damaged.
Wow.
I don't know how that's possible. But now for this video, I had to build the other kit. So now I have all the VR stuff, all the vehicle stuff. I wanted to do multiplayer stuff, which the robot kit has a 1v1 multiplayer mode. So I have a second robot kit in there now too.
Wow.
It's a lot. It'll become fireplace kindling at some point. But for now, it's all just sitting in the closet. What a monstrosity that whole experiment is.
Well, don't be surprised if you get robbed soon after this podcast. But, folks, that is it. Go steal Ant's Labo. No, I mean, no. Not by me. Not by me.
Goodness.
Not by me.
Wow.
But now they know where to find Labo. Not by me.
It's true. That's true.
But you know, you're telling people. So yeah, maybe it will be me. Don't be surprised if you see a little figure like me climbing through your window, stealing your Labo, and coming out with it. But folks, that's it. I'm gonna stop talking because probably been talking way too long, and now that I'm saying stuff like this, I'll see you all next Saturday for even more Nintendo news and all that good stuff. Hopefully, something big comes out next week. I'll see you all then. Adios.